Wi-Fi and tournament stage?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, too, because Javi is someone who's just so solid in neutral and so good at, like, controlling a game, for at least for everything I've seen from him. And then meanwhile, you have Olimar, who does have those ways of exploiting, like, Cloud's downfalls, where if Javi does lose control of neutral and does end up off stage, like, you know, there's a lot of ways you could be, like, sniped by Pikmin, or Olimar can go pretty deep for you and still come back. So I think that's going to be the name of the game. We'll see, I guess, how Swigzy actually handles the matchup, but for me, it seems like the offstage stuff is still really scary for Cloud. We got to see that earlier on stream with Javi against Joker, just down guns. I think that was your first set here, so we'll see. I mean, he has made it several sets since then. So, I mean, Javi is, honestly, he's still a favorite, I would say, to possibly win the tournament. He did win last week.
You never want to give Javi any room to with which to work. And if you think down guns are tough, try dealing with a Pikmin being thrown into your face as you approach ledge. That's never the best scene in the world. So, as Javi going to take care of that white Pikmin, trying to do it did not approach Cloud to be its friend, that is for certain, but this losers semifinal match, they're going to be playing for a spot in losers final where, of course, as you remember, it was BMM that wound up going down to Pocket in winners final. BMM waiting, so a menacing Pichu is going to be their reward for a victory. First blood being drawn by Javi. However, all it takes is one solid hit for Swigzy to tie it up at one apiece, or just an up throw in some cases.
Yeah, maybe. That can possibly do it at this percent. Got the blue Pikmin. Not as reliable as I feel like it should be as a kill throw, but I don't know. I know Omar's got enough stuff, so I'm definitely not going to question the kill power of his blue Pikmin.
It's also on Town and City, to be fair. Oh, wow.
Yeah, DBZ moment for a second. Swigzy did survive, though, narrowly. Really just a big swing away from death, and Javi he's a swinger, dude. Like, I love the best part about watching him play is I feel like he's fearless, and you just see that sword swinging pretty much at all times.
Oh, wow. Catching him just with the tip of that Buster Sword. And all of a sudden, Javi up by one stock. Swigzy getting just a little too, holding in just a little too much for his own good there.
Yeah, a little bit. Javi's really starting to run away with this, and this is it's becoming very clear to me just from what I've seen from him. Javi is such a momentum player. He doesn't really get down in momentum, but when he's moving, like, I feel like he just when his foot's on the gas, he's going very fast.
You're telling me, and as we're seeing this, we're seeing Javi work their stuff here, sitting with their back to the ledge. And Swigzy thinking that it's cool to just kind of jump in. That is exactly where Cloud likes to tag you and make sure that you're coming correct. Otherwise, you're eating a cross slash. Limit break or otherwise. Forward throw. Going to give himself just a little bit more space. And Koopa, Swigzy right now on the precipice of death, both figuratively and literally in this case. But he eats the forward air and the back air to follow it up. Nothing you can do about that. Javi with a convincing 2-stock victory.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the large chunk of that game, but it looks like that Javi was in like firm controlled. So the Mexican invader looking to once again make his way back through the ranks here. And that matchup in general is just not easy for Olimar. Swords, I feel like, definitely can give the character some trouble, and yeah, didn't even utilize the platform to get up that high. He just turned his back, double jumped, and read the the lack of a defensive option from Swigzy there. Swigzy, excuse me.
Don't worry about it.
Spitzy.
Man, that brought me back to simpler times.
Yeah, we'll call him that.
Look, I believe you. So as we're, look, I don't know.
I think every day about the Chinese fusion restaurant across the street from PSS. Every day I think about her.
Oh man, just across the lot, it's like right next to a gun store and a vape shop. Like, it's
what a like a little mini strip mall, huh?
Do you remember the PSS that just
Yeah, there's like
happened
a daycare right there. It's amazing.
Karate studio, gun store.
An Italian place, I think.
Very lots of
Is
culture.
there?
Yeah, there's I think there's like a Senior Frog or something like that. I forget what it is. There's some restaurant that's like in the corner there. That's not the Chinese spot.
No, you're totally right. Oh yeah, it's like tucked right in the corner.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But do you guys remember the PSS that just happened to fall on 420 that we did?
Yeah.
And there's a food truck in the parking lot.
Yeah. The funny thing is, someone won like a glass thing from that tournament, but it had to go to like second place because first place was too young to claim it.
Oh my god, that is amazing. All on 420, just like the stacks
Dude,
number.
it's like,
Anyway,
it's like
That food truck was OD, man. I missed that stuff. But regardless here, there are no food
they
trucks.
knew where to be. Like,
Yeah.
they knew. Because Smash players love their food. So I don't know why I don't know why they wouldn't. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, that's Swigzy getting smoked out by a down air. That is going to be a full stock advantage for Javi.
Yeah, Javi putting in the work right now, utilizing all the aspects of Cloud that are very, very good still. You know, despite the fact that he's obviously watered down in his past appearance, but using those large hitboxes to his advantage, you know, eating up Pikmin and, you know, extending that offstage presence and catching Olimar where it hurts on landing.
So now is going to try to utilize that nair to space himself out. Just instead, you know what? How about I create a little bit more efficiency with my movement? I'm just going to back air, create a quarter circle, and it's going to be one that you run into and die.
Yeah, but the F smash, wasting no time cleaning up that stock right there for Swigzy, but having a ton of ground to make up as Javi is on match point right now.
Yeah, that's the whole problem with it, isn't it, Koopa? You cleaned up that one stock. Problem is, it took 2 stocks for you to do it. So what is it that Swigzy needs to do in order to adjust and get themselves back into this set? Because otherwise, you're going home or staying home right now, and in 4th place.
It's just hard, man. Like, yeah, that was just an intensely like overmatched for Swigzy right there.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you're just outclassed. It happens. No shame in being outclassed by someone like Javi, to be completely fair, who has been dominant thus far in these brackets. And really, their showing last week should have been an indication in of itself, right? I mean, doing all that work in DNA, finishing first out of 128 competitors, taking out Hungrybox in winners final, and taking out Lights in grands by a score of 3-2. Remember, as Lights is trying to mount that comeback, and then stopping the momentum in that game number 5. It's Javi knows when to turn it on when it counts. It's certainly no stranger to the bright lights of the big stage, showing their worth there as they move on to losers final, where of course now having to take on BMM. So Cloud versus Pichu.
Yeah.